I'm going to show you how to build this Montessori style bed. There are a lot of pros to building your own bed. Most importantly, you have the control over the materials you use. That means no press board that can swell when it gets wet like your waistline around the holidays. Let's get started. This bed was made completely out of 2x6x8 untreated pine boards from my local box store. I planned on painting it, so pine was fine. The blue numbers are the overall dimensions and the green numbers will be all the inner measurements. As shown in purple, the outer frame is made of 2x3s in lumberyard measurements, meaning the actual size is 1.5 by 2.5 inches.
It's a scam!
When complete, the bed can be disassembled into 8 pieces.
I like it a lot.
The A-frames. If you can get through this part, the rest is a breeze. All of the joints in the A-frame are made out of half-lap joints. First, we're going to focus on the peak. The board should be glued at an angle of 90 degrees between them. Then, we'll go ahead and add the lower part of the triangle. And just note, if you make a mistake, it's no big deal. You can just glue a piece of wood in the gap and sand it down like I did. A plane traveling at 500 miles per hour at 40,000 feet is never going to see it. And you'll get better when you do it the second time. There's no substitute for failure and experience. Next, add the vertical boards and the lower crossbar at the same time. You've completed the hardest part of the build. Everything else is straight cuts. The side rails are straightforward. Just note that they all have an odd number of pickets. You want to go ahead and start from the middle of the railing. This will ensure that you end up with equal spacing on both sides. I would wait to cut the crossbars on the box spring until everything was built to make sure that they were cut to size. Also, on my bed I didn't sand them down, but I would recommend sanding them down in case your kid decides to crawl into the bed and then ends up getting splinters because you didn't sand them. For painting, I just used a basic wood primer and latex paint, the same stuff used on most interior walls. It's a good idea to perform a light sand between coats because this will allow for a
Silky and smooth.
finish. Make sure to pre-drill holes on the side of the A-frames, 2 for each crossbar and 2 for each lower part of the box spring. It's a large bolt, and there's a high likelihood that you will split the board if you don't. Drill and apply the adjustable legs. This will allow for any compensation if the bed doesn't come out perfect and there's a little bit of wobble to it. I routed all the edges after assembling the 8 main components and hand sanded the corners where my router couldn't reach. Here's a freeze frame of the cut list, which will allow you to make all your cuts before building. Please note there are a couple that I recommend cutting after. The total cost of the build was roughly $120. Tack on another $130 for the mattress, and the total was around $250.